All right, everybody, it is time. Welcome back, everybody. This is another episode of Retro Survivor. And then there were 8. So this is a show where we're gonna pit 10 retro games. This season we're gonna pick 10 Super Nintendo games, and we are gonna put them together in an island. But you guys, here's the crazy part about this show, is that you guys are going to vote which one leaves. You guys are going to vote in the chat live who you want to evict from the island. So just a recap of our 10 contestants, if you guys have forgotten who is left. We currently have Spanky's Quest, Kirby's Dream Course, Kid Clown and Crazy Chase, SWAT Cats The Radical Squadron, which I will be playing live today. We have Tiny Toons Adventures, Buster Bust Loose. This is one that seems to be a fan favorite. We're going to see if he survives one more week or not. Super Adventure Island has left us already. Super Adventure Island 2 is still on the chopping block. First Samurai was an action platformer. And we got Michael Jordan, Chaos in the Windy City. So last week we saw Super Godzilla, which is basically just Pac-Man on bottom, walking sim on top. We saw Super Godzilla walking sim his way out the door. He left the island. I do not know how Michael Jordan has stayed around for 2 weeks. Could this be his day? Could this be the day that the chat comes together and says, look, guys, we know he's not going to win. Let's just go ahead and take him out to pasture. Let's just go ahead and get rid of him. Maybe that's up to you guys today. So what's about to happen, I'm going to go into a gameplay scene, and then I'm going to have the chat live. You guys can talk to me. You can ask me personal questions about your host if you would like. But what I would like is I want there to be some talk about, man, does this contestant need to stay? Does Buster Bust Loose finally really need to leave? He does. Does Buster Bust Loose need to leave? Does Michael Jordan need to stay? Or maybe you're watching the gameplay scene and you're watching me play SWAT Cats, and you're saying, you know what, this is the one that's got to go. I didn't know how bad this game was. Or maybe he's in your crosshairs, and you say, SWAT Cats is the one I'm aiming for today. And then as I'm playing it, you're thinking, well, this isn't what I thought it was. This game's much better than what I initially thought. And then maybe that changes your opinion into keeping SWAT Cats for another week. Or maybe you saw my stream last week at Spanky's Quest. Cute little fella, wears silly hats, puzzle platformer. You maybe you've never even heard of it. But maybe last week seeing that, you're like, man, he's in my top 3. That's up for you to decide. Again, I'm about to queue up my Super Nintendo. I'm going to untangle my cords, and I'm going to get SWAT Cats, the Radical Squadron, ready. Here we go. Let me queue it up. And here we go. Turn my camera just a little bit. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this game before, but at my first time playing it, and if you don't know about this channel, so how I've chosen to pick, let's see, let me get the chat right. Okay, there we go. Let me get the right browser source here. I don't want to look down at my phone every time just to see a reply. Here we go. Okay, chat's up. SWAT Cats, the Radical Squadron. Looks like I'm having some hardware issues. Here we go. Hold on. So guys, what this game is about, and you probably have never played it before. I know that I haven't. It's one that's kind of just slipped under the radar for me, even though I've been playing Super Nintendo for a very long time. It really genuinely surprised me. So it's basically an action platformer, but the thing about this one is it's got a leveling up system. You're going to choose between 2 different characters. Here, let's go ahead and start. And the 2 main characters, oh baby, that jet right down the gullet. That jet right Buster leaves. If Buster leaves, we riot. Guys, you are worse than Bubsy fans. And I literally got on X today. You can follow me on X if you want to. Jake Dies Again. I got on X today and I was like, what is it? Like, what am I missing with Bubsy? Like, I get he's got the animations and he's really bright and colorful, but I don't get it. I don't. But he's got a crazy following and people are really excited for Bubsy 4D. And again, I don't get it. And you guys, it seems like I got the same kind of ravenous, just, I don't know, fan base in this chat when it comes to Buster Bust Loose. I don't understand. I didn't enjoy the game. But you know what? That's why this channel is this show is different. Because if you came to see a show where somebody just ranks their top 10 Super Nintendo games, then you've come to the wrong show. Because in this show, you guys decide. So if you want to go against my best wishes, let's see, we got Dr. Viper. Oh yeah, in this game you can choose what world you basically want to start on, or what level you want to start on. So you get two cats to choose from, T-Bone and Razor, which are the two main characters. I picked Razor. The reason being is because T-Bone has a bazooka that can get him to different places, but I like mobility in games. Like in Donkey Kong Country, I'm going to pick Diddy Kong because I feel like he's faster and he can jump higher. So if there is always a choice for mobility, that's the one I'm going to pick. And Razor, he has a jetpack. He can jump higher, in my opinion. So that's the one I'm always going to pick. Well, SWAT Cat's a Saturday morning cartoon or something? Yes, it was a 90s cartoon. I've never heard of it until I saw it. I'm having some pixel issues going on, and I don't know why. Playing on old hardware, folks. Hopefully you guys can still see it. Yeah, so basically you guys are going to see this leveling up system on the left hand side, top left. Let's see if I can get this right. And as you hit people, you're going to get XP points, and then you're going to level up. And then once you level up, you get better guns along the way. And eventually you'll have like a bazooka, a big net gun, and you keep getting better guns as you progress. Because the enemies are obviously going to get tougher, so you're going to need something to shoot them with. I don't know why my gameplay is doing this. SWAT Cat's a Saturday morning cartoon. Yes, it was. Okay. Man, I hate to restart the stream over since I'm having some hardware difficulty. Can definitely see it, but yeah, there's some graphical glitches. Almost looks like the cart needs to be cleaned. You may be right, Rob. Okay, it just cleared up. I have no idea why, but it just randomly cleared up on its own. Rob, you spoke it into existence, my man. Okay, so now you can clearly see this is the OG gun that you start off with. As you can see, very weak. But you're going to grab these little coin things. And first of all, look how you can climb. Like, it's just a lot of little touches like this. You have this little flip. You can glide a little bit. But here's why I like Razor. Here we go. Jetpack. You can go anywhere you want. And this has like, you can't use it too much because if you use the engine too much, the engine will kind of blow up on you. It's going to do some damage to you, so you do want to be mindful of that. But yeah, there are ways or places in each level that have secret areas, and you can only access them if you have Razor via the jetpack. But if you have T-Bone, there's going to be some that's like behind a very breakable wall. You're like, I can get through that. But ends up you can't break it unless you have T-Bone and you're using this big bazooka thing. So I don't know which one has the better areas, but I've played both and I just like Razor a little bit better. So as you see, it looks like the hit detection is pretty good. Every time I get hit, I'm not complaining about it because that is me getting hit. There's no like, oh, he wasn't even close to me or anything like that. I don't understand. Here's some things I don't understand about this game. Maybe somebody can give their opinion. Why does a pepper give a cat health? That's a good question. Now, if you want a bunch of health as you progress later in the game, you will get a little carton of milk. That makes sense. A pepper doesn't make so much sense. The stage looks better. Weird. The enemies look like a giant crane from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just got hit, but I did get a 1-up. Okay, now this level, so I just died because I was looking at the chat, but this level, it's supposed to look very grainy because there's a bunch of stuff like hurling down on you. Like last night I was playing on my Superboy, and I was like, what's wrong with my Superboy? But no, like this one's just like that because you have things crashing down on you. I don't know what was wrong with the last level. So if you get these little question marks, they're basically XP tokens, and you're going to level up, like I said, in the top left. I think it's level 5 that you get the first, you get your first gun, or first gun improvement. And I really enjoy this because there's a lot of games, Bubsy, I'm looking at you. There's a lot of games where they have the coin mechanic thing. Look, I just got some little can of milk. We good to go. Razor's fueled up. Bubsy, where like they have coins, but for what? Like so you can compare your last high score with your new high score on how many coins you collected. I never really understood that. Yeah, that baddie in the background, super cool touch. I agree, Rob. Yeah, so I don't get coins just for collecting coins. I don't understand that whole purpose. Okay, so this is a very divisive part about this game. Some people think that it gives them headaches, and then it makes them a little bit queasy. And then some people think it is a very smart way to like fake 3D, and they really enjoy it. And the little I've looked up on other people that have reviewed this game, it seems as though they're pretty split. But a lot of people do get sick over just playing this stage. Now I'm super focused because I've made the mistake of doing the whole spray and pray. And if you're not that good of a gamer, you know what I'm talking about. I do it on most games because I get a little scared and then I get anxious, like I'm gonna die, and I just shoot everywhere. You can't let one of those bats hit you like I just did. Good thing is, I don't think that this level, since it is very hard, I don't think that it counts against your life counter. So you get basically unlimited tries. But it is really difficult. Like I said, if one thing touches you, you have to start from the very beginning. And this is just kind of part 1 of part 2. You eventually make it into this bacteria monster's mouth, and then you have to fight the bacteria from within. So that's part 2. And it's really difficult when the screen is going in a circle. You're shooting at moving targets. They're moving and they're shooting stuff. It's much more difficult than you would think. And you kind of got to memorize a little bit of a pattern because here at some point they're going to like that. See how they just charge the screen really quickly? If you pick the wrong spot, there's like no way to avoid it. Okay, let's see if I got all of them. Oh, look how they're bouncing on the screen. Ah! Okay, I think no, I thought I was close. Don't panic, don't panic. Do not panic. Okay, that's 1, that's 2. Got them. Guys, we're almost in the monster's mouth. Let's go. Okay, so apparently the chili peppers are from an episode where they have a competition to see who could eat the most. Wow, that's why you're the man. Yeah, I watched. So I was very curious about this game once I wanted to review it. I started seeing it online. And this one, again, I played on my Superboy last night. It's supposed to look like that. It's a lot of movement and really kind of pushing the Super Nintendo hardware. So hopefully we are past that technical difficulty that we had earlier. I guess I have a dirty cart. But, no! Oh, I'm going to have to restart. Okay, never mind. Let's go. I'm still in the belly of the beast. But long story short, I watched the first 2 episodes, It is the most 90s. We are so radical and we don't listen to the rules. We're bad guys. Like the whole anti-hero thing. Yeah, I guess kids thought that was just, it was super 90s. I think it got 2 seasons, I want to say, but it's got, again, just like Bubsy, it has not a large following, but they are dedicated. Because I put something on X, and I was like, I didn't really put a lot of, not saying I don't put a lot of effort in my tweets or what I share, but I was like, this is a pretty normal tweet that I just tweeted out. And it was just a video of some gameplay. I was like, hey guys, like, got my review on YouTube, go check it out. Barely dodged those eyes. Go check out my review on YouTube. I think still to this day, I think it is the most watched or most interacted tweet that I have. Because like there was not Bubsy. There were SWAT Cat fan pages retweeting that and commenting on it, and so it got a lot of engagement early. And I was like, that's incredible how they just like sought me out and found me just because I talked about their baby. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Very dedicated. I'd go check it out. If you guys have never seen it, it's a very 90s cartoon. You'll get in your 90s feels, maybe feel. That's how you do it. That's how we do it. Whoa! Okay. So this game already, you can tell, offers way more than Buster Bust Loose. Just throwing that out there. Dude, these graphical choices are buck wild. SWAT Cat still holds up. And yeah, the second season was more toned down because of Ted Turner. Mode 7 is strong with this one. Yeah, Mode 7 is really strong. The way that they did 3D in this game is really, really interesting. Man, I'm so glad we got our picture back. I was starting to get worried about our stream there. Okay, so there are 2 different ways I know on this level, if I remember right. You can go on the bottom or you can go on the top. And I think the bottom is going to be the way to go. The bottom is going to be the way to go. That's why this channel is called Jake Dies Again. I thought I could just walk onto it. You don't want to over jump. Now another thing about this game, if you didn't know, the elements matter. You see how it's raining and I'm sliding? So as long as it's raining and I'm wet, I'm going to slide. So I thought that was a really, I jumped too high. See? This enemy is really annoying. You have to like shoot him 3 times. He gets into a small glob of goo. He goes back to normal. You got to shoot him again. It's this whole thing. But let me see if I can go low. Okay, we went low. I think there's a 1-up down here. If I'm remembering a wrong level, that's going to be unfortunate. Oh. And now it's raining on tiny platforms. Ah! Raining on tiny platforms. No! Okay, it stopped raining. We're golden. Let's go. Pro gamer move, guys. I know you're seeing this. Let me check the chat real quick. I think that, yeah, we can pause it. Graphical choices or buck wild. Okay, yeah, I read that. Okay, if I remember right, I think I can jump down there. There's a 1-up, but you know what? I don't want to risk it. I'm not going to risk it. Okay, yeah, so this is a game, if it sounds like a lot of you have not played it. So this is your first impression. So you're going to have to decide if this is the worst game that's left on the list. And if it is, then you need to have some backdoor dealings going on. You need to have a little negotiation going on. And you need to be deciding, maybe get 1 or 2 people to vote along with you and see who you can get out that's not SWAT Cats. Or maybe you say, well, Jake, you kind of talked this game up a little bit. I'm not really impressed. It's got to go. Maybe you feel that way. Then get with another person in the chat, make your case, get them out of here. Okay, I gotta mentally prepare for this level. Okay, this is one of my big negatives as far as this game goes that I had in my review, is that a lot of the background looks the same. It has some great ideas, like look at this platform, how it disappears and then appears. Like just a bunch of cool, it's like they didn't really pull any punches when it comes to the level design. That's tough. They didn't pull any punches when it comes to level design, but this one, I forget about the dang raining from the ceiling. It's raining from the skies. But this level is a lot of purple, and there's a lot of entryway. It's not linear, so you have to like go to the right door, and then you end up on the top left of the map, and then you go to the bottom left of the map, and you end up at the top right of the map. It's a lot of, you just got to keep opening doors, and I don't really like that. I like to know, okay, am I going to the right? Am I going to the top? One up, baby! There we go. I'm so glad I know the mystery of the pepper now. Look, if you vote for this, y'all are wild. I agree. I think that this is probably a dark horse to win, maybe? Throwing that out there. I really like this game. I was genuinely surprised by it. I can name 4 games off the top of my head that need to go before this game for sure. Like, for certain, without even thinking about it. Buster, and Michael Jordan. They need to go. But again, that's up to you guys. That's what's great about the show. I let you guys vote. I'm so weary about... I'm the type, it's like, I'm going to wait for that perfect moment to jump. I don't like to sit here and... I don't want to sit here and say, like, okay, like, I think it's all the way lit up. I'm just going to go for it. I like to make sure. I see if I fall through, there is a question mark right there. But I want to go ahead and get through the level. I don't care about the extras. Oh, come on, come on. Okay. Is that it? Nope. I told you guys, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. When you die as much as me, you understand. This is the pain in which I go through being a mediocre gamer. Okay. I gotta watch the guy on top. I wonder if I can kill the guy on top. Oh yeah, he takes just a little damage. I need to level up. I need a better gun. Okay, you see this wall right here? T-Bone, the other cat in which you can choose, he can shoot this wall down. Razor cannot, unfortunately. So I don't know really what to do next, to be quite honest with you. I don't want to fall through one of those platforms. I'm going to fall to my death. I only have 4 lives, and I really want to keep playing. I think we're going to chance it. Oh, I think this just ended up where did I just end up back at the beginning? Oh, great! Enemy respawn rate. That is awesome. Right back at the beginning. I shot the plant, and then a second later, there's the plant. Did I just hack into another 1-up? Follow me for more tips. Follow me for more hacks. Basically retro cheating. Yeah, and I'll say that too. Like, I know there's going to be a level coming up where it's like a vertical scrolling level. And at the very beginning, you get a 1-up. So as long as you keep getting that 1-up, you get infinity tries. So you just got to keep going. Man, I hate for you new guys that we started off the stream rough. I'm still thinking about that, but man, God's good. He gives you the desires of your heart. Come on. He's letting us play. All right, I wonder, does this game have any shoot 'em up levels? I'm going to pause this. Like a 1941 shooting level or a side-scrolling UN Squadron type shooter level would have been a no-brainer. It's got 2 or 3 of those in which I just showed you, Rob. It's got 2 or 3 levels like that, but not like a classic shoot 'em up, if I'm remembering right. This was months ago that I played this game, but I think that's all it gives, which is, again, very unique, and that's a big factor for me. I gotta go down one of these platforms. There's no way. I mean, there's no other way, right? I'm missing something. Because I played this game a little after I reviewed it. I didn't even get a chance to jump down there without wasting a life. I'm missing something. Okay, I'm going to go backpack mode. Okay, we're going to go up there for sure. Jetpack. Alright, another thing about this, it's really, really hard to when he does the 360 little flip there, very difficult to control. Okay, I gotta go in that door. I don't know how I didn't get a hit right there, but I'll take it. Okay, this is starting to look a little familiar. I think I can jump down. I need that pepper. That's so stupid. That's so dumb. My cat's hurt. I need the pepper. That's so dumb. Okay. Think I can jump and get that experience point without hurting myself? I sure can. Okay, no, okay. Caught up with the chat. That's good. Okay, guys, what are we thinking? Is this something that needs to stay around? It sounds like it needs to stay for another week or two, from if I'm hearing the chat correctly. But are we thinking that this could be one that maybe ends up winning? Maybe? I don't know. Also, here's a fun fact. If you guys, okay, I hate these big plants. You have to take your time. I know this is about to be real boring to watch. You have to sneak in there, shoot, sneak out. It takes like 8 shots to kill them. I'm trying to remember. I think that's right, yeah. But, yeah, so all the games in which we're voting for, if you are new here today, if you're in the chat, they've all been reviewed. Please don't send me all the way back. Don't punish me. Yeah, I'm going to have to do the death wall climb. Go ahead and take that pepper. Yeah, and look how low my health is. And until you level up, you just got to deal with that. Ooh, I saved a hit right there. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all of those games in which we're voting for that are on the island, every contestant on the island has been a review on my channel. They have made an appearance. So, if you have watched them, even if you haven't played them, if you've watched my review, you can at least speak on it and have enough knowledge to vote. We don't want any uneducated voters out there. I got some pepper emojis in the chat. Appreciate that. Are you giving me some health personally? Because I'm going to need some after getting killed by this flower again. Ah! Why won't it shoot? See, that's the thing, Rob. I'm playing with I know you play with your little slide, but when you play with the OG hardware, sometimes it sticks. The joys of 90s gaming. Okay, let's see if I can time this. You know what? I'm going up. Oh, no, don't go up. I'm going to get that XP. I'm going to see where life takes me. Okay. I feel like I need to go left. I feel like I need to go left here. I don't know why. My heart's telling me that. You get like a little bit of a delay if you hit them. So the thing is, if your controller sticks and you don't hit this flower, you're cooked. But yeah, we have so I was really surprised, mostly in this game. Of course, with the, there's climbing, there's falling, there's different, that shoot 'em up level with the 360, oh, that's just for T-Bone. Great, we did that for nothing. All right, I just leveled up to level 5, and as you can see, I think my gun's gonna change. I think it's like more of a spider web situation. But one up, there we go. So like even this like climbing thing I'm doing right here, that really surprised me. Like the flips, all that was really cool. It's got the 90s guitar riffs behind it, which puts me back. But man, the leveling up system, I did not know he had that kind of range. The leveling up system is crazy in an action platformer. You guys didn't think I was queuing up an RPG now, did you? Oh my, what is this clay guy? Why is he so strong? Leveled up to level 5, guys. Sounds like you need a retro handheld. I do, Rob. I don't know which one to get. Okay, I gotta get that one up. I didn't see the little flower creeping up. I was looking at the chat. Okay, in this one, it's a vertical scroll. You gotta hurry up. Time is of the essence. But you have to get... You got to make sure you get that one up at the beginning, because this is probably going to take more than one try. Oh, I could have gained a life. No! Oh, wait, I need to do it. Okay. I don't know if that was the right call. I don't know if I should have went right or left there. You guys think we need to go up right here? That makes sense. I hate these. Like I said, Rob, I do have a Superboy. So that's always fun to play when I'm traveling. But I haven't gotten into the emulator game yet. So like something like the Anbaric 5 XXX DSP, whatever, all the digits. I've looked at them. I have not gotten one yet. And the plethora of choices out there always makes me hesitate if I'm getting the right thing. I know that Anbaric is apparently the way to go. But even they have a bunch to choose from. So I always get stuck on which one to get. And then I don't get anything. I need to just decide. Just pull the Band-Aid off. Get me a nice handheld. That way I can put my games on there. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I had to... I want to open up with Super Nintendo on my channel. Because that's the thing I'm most nostalgic for. But my next two consoles I would probably hit is the N64 and the Game Boy Advance. Those are my jam. But to play the Game Boy Advance, I would like a feel that is like that Anbaric flip. So I want that clamshell. I want to be done, close it, just like that. That's what I want. But I'm just nervous if it's going to work. I hear it's HDMI output. Is that going to work with the emulated games? What sites do I get them from? It's just a lot going on. I know someone that could help you make a wise choice. Bro, if you could give me some advice, let me know. All right, I gotta take a deep breath, guys. So this is a boss battle. We are about to face, I can't remember his name, something Viper, some kind of Viper. And he can throw, if I remember correctly, with amazing accuracy. Amazing accuracy. Yep, he is. Look at that. And you just got to sneak in when you can. And then you got the elements against you, like I said. Like the wind just blew me left, and I didn't mean to go that far left. So you're kind of fighting a lot of things here. You're trying to gauge where he's going to throw. You're trying to get close to him, but also the wind is like pushing you into the fire. See, I didn't know whether to jump or go left right there because I didn't know if the wind was going to pick up. I'm sure there's a pattern to the wind. And then you get stopped by these dang mushrooms. But yeah, another thing, again, that surprised me about this game, they threw so much into it that I was not expecting, is that the elements matter. Like, there's windy levels, there's rainy levels, there's stuff on the ground that makes you slip. It's just, it really kind of shocked me. So, and then there's not a large soundtrack to this game. Did you guys see that one float? This bro, oh man, how does he throw so good? You know what? Since this has RPG elements, I bet I could go back, because you can pick a world like we showed earlier. I bet I can go pick another world, and then I can level grind, have a better gun, come back, and then beat him. I thought I could. Y'all saw what I was trying to do there, huh? I don't even think I'm close to beating this guy. I don't even see him breaking at all. He's throwing more at me. He's throwing 3, 4. Okay, that's a good sign. Oh, I just got hit. I like how there's no healables either. Where's the healables? Did I kill him? No way. Boom. Jake dies again. Killed a boss in front of you guys. You guys have witnessed it. You guys know I can do it. There we go. Okay. So that is World 1 clear. So like I said earlier, it's got like a big map. We can pick another one out. So after seeing this for, I don't know how long we've been playing it, I'm wondering if that's shaping anybody's opinion to whether they need to evict this game, keep this game, Or, they just said, this is the one that I'm going to bet on for longer. Maybe that's it. Because now, even playing it myself for the second time, I'm thinking, wow, there is so much that this game offers. So we're going to go to the Ferris wheel. I'm feeling in a fair, jolly mood. Let's go to the fair. World 2, Mad Cat. To the SWAT Cats for Mayor Max. Trouble at the Mad Cat amusement park. Children disappear. Golly, children disappearing. Find them. Okay, that's pretty urgent. Children disappearing. Defeated the boss. Didn't actually die. I want my money back. Hey, Rob, stay around for 30 seconds. You'll see one, I promise. It will not be long until I die again. Children disappearing. That was pretty dark. They kind of just would go there in the 90s. They wouldn't say like, oh, somebody needs help. It's like, no, they're gone. They're not with us any longer. Okay, remember you got to make sure that these coins matter. It's not like stupid Bubsy where the points don't matter. So, Rob, I was watching your live earlier for Still in the Chat, and I thought it would be a hilarious idea if we did some kind of first impressions of Bubsy 4D when it comes out. We did a duo of, hey, what do you think about it? What do I think about it? And see if it matched up. Because there's just been, I just noticed in your chat, it was probably, 6 or 7 of us in your chat. And then we started talking about Bubsy. I don't know why it added up this way or why it fell this way. But we started talking about Bubsy, and next thing I know, there's 18 people in the chat. I'm like, everybody loves Bubsy. Every time I talk about it, every time I comment about it on X, it gets interaction. It's crazy fan base. And I just think since we have given it so much crap, if we did something together on that would be, I think it'd be funny. Defeat the ball. Okay, I'm called up. So, as you saw earlier, I couldn't get that one up because I'm not T-Bone. I don't have the bazooka. But I can get other places because I have the jetpack. So, you just got to be mindful on how to use it. And sometimes I forget I have it. And there's probably places in the map that I could go and get some extra coins or one-ups. But I forget that I got it and I can go that far. All right, we got some good platforming here. I told you, I think they did a pretty good job with the level design. Are you serious? 3 hits on an airborne enemy? That's crazy. Crazy talk. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's a good idea. Freaking Bubsy. I'm telling you, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Look, my franchise like that is probably... I guess you can call it a franchise. Look, if they just redid a Banjo-Kazooie, I would lose my freaking mind. They could ask $70, no, $80, $90 for a new Banjo-Kazooie game, and I promise you, I will make some cuts, and I will be the proud owner of Banjo 3, I promise. So I know that people really like their games that they're nostalgic for, but my thing is, it is known that Banjo-Kazooie is a good game. Nobody would argue with me on that. They might not feel the same as strongly about it as me, but nobody would argue that that's a good game. What I don't get is that there's a lot of people that argue that Bubsy's even an okay game. So the fact that it has that fan base blows my freaking mind. Now this game on Super Nintendo, and then you got if you like the super radical, super 90s, we're going to do what we want no matter what the mayor says, no matter what the police say. If you got that type of this game, I get the nostalgia factor there. But I don't get the Bubsy stuff. What'd you think of Ukulele? You guys are going to find out something about me that you're not going to really like. I think that's about to happen. I didn't play it. I'm about to be alone in this chat. I didn't play it out of spite. I did not play it because I was in a boycott. If you're going to make this game, I know you have the rights Xbox to Banjo-Kazooie. Make the freaking Banjo-Kazooie game. It's the same dynamic. It's the same mechanics. It's the same game. Give me what I want. Give me the actual characters. I don't care about how it plays. There's been a bunch of duo buddy platformers, 3D platformers. Give me my characters. And the fact that they made the exact same game without it it just ticked me off. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. So I chose not to play it. Well, I can't even focus on this game. I chose not to play it purely out of spite. So no, I haven't. And I know they just did like a replay E or whatever. So I know there's some people talking about it online. Sometimes I want to go back there and try it just because I have such a need for Banjo-Kazooie, but I don't know. I feel like if I hold out and I complain and I sit at my desk and I complain long enough about not having Banjo-Kazooie, somebody's got to hear me. Somebody on the Xbox dev team or whoever made Banjo-Kazooie has got to be like, man, if nothing else, this guy's so spiteful and upset. Let's do it for Jake Dies Again. Maybe you guys can back me up on that. Okay, ukulele. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Let's see if anybody else responds. Like, look at this game. Like, the moving platforms, I think that's a good idea. I wish my jetpack worked a little bit better. I could just fly through this whole thing. So I'm glad they didn't make anything broken like that. I hear... Ooh, that was close. I hear there's a game called Demon's Crest where he can float. Kind of like what Razor here can do with his jetpack. And I've heard people rave about that game, and I've heard people really dislike that game because you can just float through the whole game. Again, I have not played it. That's just what I've heard. I've heard that you can abuse that float feature and just go through the entire game. So that's really lame if you can do that. But SWAT Cats has this cool feature of a jetpack, but doesn't abuse it. I need that pepper right there, but as you see, if I jump that off this dadgum teacup, I'm cooked. I don't think I can use my jetpack in midair. Okay, I got the pepper. Another crazy thing about this game is that it's got a timer, so you can't just sit here and chat. I got 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Let's see if I can make that platform. See, it's heating up. I gotta jump off. I know that there was probably goodies on the bottom, but I don't care at this point. Don't care. I'm just trying to make it through. Here's the water park level. I think you guys would be interested in this. Something completely different. You don't have the shoot 'em ups, Rob, but look at this. Look how cool this is. I hadn't even touched my controller yet. I found out last time, the less I did, the further I got. I'm sure you miss goodies that way, but you don't hurt as much, and I don't want to hurt that much. Let's see, what did you think? If I remember right, it was made by the original team of Banjo because Microsoft wouldn't do anything with it, so left them no choice. Okay, that's interesting. See, I didn't know that. I just know that it looked so much like it, and I didn't get it, and that just really, that irked me. But if it's made by the same team, that will get me to play it. Like, I love that game so much. This is how much I love that game. There is I'll shout out an indie game. Why is this guy not dying? Oh my goodness. There was an indie game recently, a 3D platformer, and it was called Paperclay. And the reason it hooked me in, and I should have done a review on it, sometimes I just play games for fun, imagine that. But I played this 3D platformer called Paperclay. The reason that it roped me in, because it was the same producer of Banjo-Kazooie. His name's Grant Kirkhope. Does that sound right? Chat can correct me, but Grant Kirkhope produced or made the music for Banjo-Kazooie, and then he got him to make the music for this indie 3D platformer. And I was like, that's all you had to say, buddy. I'm hooked. I'm in. So yeah, the fact that you're telling me that that's the same team, I'm in. That's all I needed to hear. Case closed. I might go check it out now. Let's see. Can you jump and then activate the jetpack, or does it have to do it from standing? Okay, I'm pressing the jetpack button, which is up, and A, and I'm not doing it. So I don't think so. That's why I wanted to get that pepper earlier, and I kind of just had faith that there would be a teacup there to catch me. Sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit. I don't do it every time, but I do it sometimes. Water park level is giving off Bubsy vibes. Now that you say that, it does. That makes me like it less. Why'd you bring... I like how everything goes back to Bubsy. Everything goes back to Bubsy. It's like in modern games now where everything is Fortnite. Like Call of Duty has the Battle Pass and special characters, so it's Fortnite. The Marvel game is basically the same thing. It's Marvel's version of Fortnite. So you got Call of Duty, Fortnite, Marvel, Fortnite. What Fortnite you want to play? So the fact that now all these games are kind of going back and reminding us of Bubsy. No, got to get that one up. Hey, even if I die, it's okay. I come out. It's a wash. I come out even. Oh, man, you're right, Michael. Strike one, SWAT cats. Strike one. Yeah, check it out. I definitely need to revisit it. I never got that far in it. Okay, let's get that free life. I think if you stand on the very front of the platform, I don't think the fish hit you. Kind of halfway on, duck. I think that was the way to go about it. There's another move that you can use in this game, and that's a complaint that I do have about it. I can't even remember the combo to do it. But apparently, if you, it's like back, forward, up, X, Y. I mean, it's like 7 buttons in a row. Okay, boss fight. Focus in. Boss fight. Okay, let me finish my thought or I will forget it. It's like 7 different buttons, and then he can do like a leaping. It looks like he's Superman for a second, and then kind of do a very small, like little wipe in front of him so he can like kill 2 or 3 enemies. Razor can. But it's like 7 buttons long, and by the time that, like, if you're in the middle of action, who's got time for that? Who's got time to sit here and do a Mortal Kombat-like combo when you got these clay things coming at you and you're jumping on platforms? Ain't nobody got time for that. So, like, I figured out how to do it just so I could show it on stream that one day I was reviewing it, and then literally never used it again because it was, as good as it was not useful in game. Not useful. So I don't know who thought that was a good idea on the dev team. They're like, oh yeah, middle of them jumping through these teacups and trying to just be in the trenches trying to survive. Yeah, we'll throw this 8-button combo on them. Give me a B. Give me a Uster. What does that spell? I'm telling you guys, I think I said it on the very first episode that I did of Retro Survivor. I think I did on the very first episode. I have watched enough Survivor and enough Big Brother to know that has been a strategy. That everybody makes a joke to say, hey, this person's gonna go out anyway. They're not gonna win. So like, let's let them hang around. I squatted and shot right there. And I'm down lives. I think if I'm out, I'm just gonna try a different world so you guys can see different things. But they would let people say, okay, well, they're not a threat. Let's get the threats out early. We know that they're not going to win the whole thing. We'll let them stay around till week 6, week 7, whatever. And then turn around. They can't get them out that week for whatever reason. And then the next week something happens. And then next thing you know, they're in the finals and they might win the whole freaking thing. So I feel like this is what's going to happen with Buster. You guys are just going to let this guy hang around. It's like, oh, like we know he's got to go home. But we're just making this little meme joke out of it. So we're going to leave him here. Next thing you know, it's going to be finals week, and he's going to be here, and it's going to be your actual favorite game. Maybe it's this one. And then Buster. And then what are you going to do? Because then you've memed it so much that people might even want to see it win, and then your favorite game has got to leave the island. So then you've done the famous DJ Khaled thing. You played yourself. That's what's going on. I can see it. I can see it. You call him Buster a floater? Yes, that's what they're called. That's what they call him, Big Brother. They're floaters. Buster is a floater. You heard it here first. Michael B, that's good. Call him Buster a floater. Okay, making sure I'm caught up. So this is a mirrored level. And that's why I keep looking at the wrong dang razor. It's really hard to see which one it is on my end. Second, it's almost impossible to control like the little flip that he does after you jump off a wall. And this is one of those we did it earlier with the purple caves. This is one of those levels that's non-linear, and it's basically a fun house. I think that's actually what this is, an amusement park. It's a fun house to where like you're popping in this door, leaving out this door, popping in this door. It's cool in theory. Very good idea. Playability, not so much. Not fun to play. Not having a good time on this one. And I have been. Not on this level. I like how I can't go through these double doors. They're literally double doors. They have handles on them. Why can't I walk through it? I'm going to have to go through the whole level. Again. Number 1, he wins. Number 2, we party. Buster is the Cody Califor of this group of games. Yeah. I agree with that. I will agree. Guys, where do I go next? I'm in this lost little fun house here, and I don't know where I need to go. I feel like I've already walked through this door. And see, that's what's going to keep happening until I finally am paying attention enough to figure out the pattern. Yeah, I've walked through that one before. I get distracted talking about Buster. Almost said Bubsy again. Buster making it another week. I get distracted. It got me in my feels about it. This is not a fun level. I might run out of lives right here, guys. We might have to go to tribal scene. We might have to go to tribal right after that. Game over. I'm out of lives. I know the old joke is cats have 9 lives, but I don't even think I had that many. It's unfortunate. So this game, another thing about it that I'm about to sing SWAT Cat's praises. I want you guys to at least like it a little more than Buster. The thing about, let's go to our confessional scene. Let's do that. Confessional scene. Here we go. All right, guys. The thing about SWAT Cats, another thing I'm going to sing on its praises, is that it's got a password system. And somebody that's a mediocre gamer like myself, I really enjoy that it has a password system because nobody wants to play, especially since it's an open world type dynamic and there's 9 different places that you can go. I think it's that many, maybe 6 or 7. There's many different places you can go. To play all that in one sitting, bananas. But it does have a password system, and any Super Nintendo game that's got a password system immediately climbs up the leaderboard for me because just think about, like right now it's not a big deal. Yeah, like there's modern versions of the game somewhere. You can probably just do an autosave feature. You can find playthroughs on YouTube. You can you can get through the game or whatever. But I'm just thinking about if we're voting on based on them coming out in the 90s. If you were a kid in the 90s, for me, a password was your saving grace. Writing it down on a notepad, putting it somewhere safe to know, like, I've beaten that level. I don't have to go back to that level. I have made forward progress. And that was a big selling point to me for games, and that was big. So I really enjoy that SWAT Cats has that. Not to mention all the other features in which we've seen with the environment, with climbing, with leveling up guns, leveling up health. And that health that you kept seeing being really small because I wasn't that far along, and it kept getting hit a lot because I'm bad at the game. Jake dies again. But that would get larger and basically fill up the entire length if I kept leveling up. So just a lot in that game. And very surprising that it comes from a cartoon with maybe 2 seasons, and it got that good of a game. All right, let me check the chat. Last week I mentioned he's like the Johnny Fair. Okay, I've read that. Rob, that's arguably a better comparison. So true, passwords were the GOAT back then. You were absolutely right. Back to what you said earlier, Michael B., with the Ted Turner thing. Yeah, apparently they were like so radical. And then Ted Turner, the guy over whatever network that was, said that it was too much, that kids, they'd be too violent watching this show. He wanted to be more family friendly. So then he went season 2, they had to abide by a few more rules. So apparently that was the reason. And the only way that I know who Ted Turner is because that's who, I'm about to show some more nerdum, just get ready for it, is because I grew up a wrestling fan, and he was the guy that owned WCW. So I guess he was the owner of TNT. Is that right? Is that the network? But anyway, yeah, so that was the whole thing with SWAT Cats. I'm not sure if they petered out after season 2. Maybe kids were like, you took away my violence, I'm not watching this show. And maybe the ratings bombed after that. The kids had an embargo. They're like, I want more guns and missiles. And I'll tell you this, these first 2 episodes that I watched, like I said, when I went back and watched the first 2 episodes of SWAT Cats, there was a bomb going off, a missile being launched, and a gunshot every 5 seconds of that show, which was insane. Like, every moment there was guitars going on and explosions. Barely any plot, razor thin plot, but no pun intended. Okay, so let me check the chat one more time, and we're going to go to Tribal Council. Credit goes back to Marcon about Ted Turner. He's like, guys, this squadron is too radical. Oh, Rob, what a jokester. Yeah, so Ted Turner got in his big boardroom. He got his fancy execs who had their ties on. He said, guys, you have succeeded. This is very radical. Too radical. Dial back the radicalness of it. It's too much. I could see that happening in a big fancy boardroom talking about a kid's show. That cracks me up. Yep, Turner on TNT. Michael B., my man. Look at that. Thanks for correcting me on that. Okay. Or helping me out with that. Guys, I'm about to put the vote in the chat. Let me create the poll. Poll is created. Now let me put it in the chat. The straw poll is currently in the chat. Let me see if I can. Hold on. All right, straw polls in the chat, everybody. So go vote for who you want to evict. The thing that I like about this show is that it's not my opinion. It's not a ranking video. It's not anything about what I think. It is you guys voting on who you want to evict. So get together, Michael B., Rob, anybody else in the chat, and make your vote and who you want to evict this week. If you want to keep your guy Buster in, if you want to keep SWAT Cats based on what you have seen today, last week we saw Spanky's Quest, a puzzle platformer that kind of surprised a few of us. So maybe you want to keep him in for another week, or maybe it's time to go. The week before that, we watched Kid Clown, which kind of surprised me with the amount of animations that he has. It kind of reminds me, again, everything goes back to Bubsy. Kind of reminds me of Bubsy in that way. Short game, fun game, a little bit different too. And for me as a host, I love contestants that bring in something unique. How lame would it be with the 9,000 action platformers that are on the Super Nintendo if we had 10 action platformers that we were comparing and we were trying to evict from? So that's what I like about some of these games. They're very different. Spanky's Quest is something I really cannot compare it to. Same thing with Super Godzilla. May he rest in peace. And Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City. So, okay, rock the vote, y'all. We need 30% less rad immediately. Yeah, 30% less rad immediately. Okay, the chat or the voting poll is pinned in the chat now. So go vote. Another thing I like about straw poll, I wish that we could make a YouTube vote, but YouTube only allows you 4 contestants, so I went with straw poll. Now here's the good thing though, that when I hear something like that, if I'm a part of something, Boomerant, I think I did this last episode, but it means a lot to me, so I'm going to do it again. Boomerant, if you have to make me sign up for anything, I'm out. I'm out. Don't ask me for my email. I don't want your 10% off. Leave it be. But what I like about straw poll is I don't ask for your name. I don't even ask for your username. I don't ask you to do the little catch-a thing where you got to do the little 9 squares. I could do that. That's a setting I could do. But I want it as easy as possible for you to click the link and vote right then. So that's all you have to do. If you want to vote one of these people out, if you want to vote Spanky's Quest off of this island, Kirby's Dream Course off of this island, Kid Clown in a Crazy Chase off, or maybe SWAT Castle Radical Squadron, I didn't impress you any in this gameplay, and you think he's got to go, Buster Bust Loose. Maybe you didn't watch Rob's video on Retro Hunters, and man, go watch that video. He saw my video online of what I did with Buster Bust Loose, and that was a game he's nostalgic for. I think that out of my 30 Super Nintendo reviews, I think I only have 3 negative ones, and that was probably the harshest of my 3 negative ones. Super Godzilla was a negative review as well, but that was probably the harshest negative review, and that just hurt his feelings, which I get, Retro Hunter. Look, if somebody did a negative review of Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which is my most nostalgic game, I'm swinging. I'm coming out fighting. Like, I'm throwing elbows. I'm gonna, like, we're wrestling if somebody says that. So I get it. So Rob made a video in response to that. He goes and plays the game again and see if the nostalgia glasses blinded him. If you guys want to keep up with my channel, I'm going to make a response to his response later on YouTube this week, and I'm going to play it again because, you know, sometimes when he first messaged me, and I'm going to get to the chat, guys, and we're going to get to the end of this vote. I promise. Let me finish this thought. When he first messaged me on X and was like, hey, you know, I saw your review. I want to make a response. Is that okay with you? Which was really respectful. I appreciate that. And he was basically talking about the game and that, you know, he was obviously positive on the game. And I said, you know what? I didn't even know this guy at all. I mean, still don't. I mean, we're internet friends, but I don't like know him. But like my first ever message to him, don't know him from Adam. And I was like, you know, sometimes you can take a break from things. You can step back. You can reevaluate, take a look in the mirror, and you can think differently on a subject. This was not one of those times. I still hate that game. I hope you know that. And I really wanted him to hear how negative I was on the game. And that really does surprise me because I like Konami as far as them developing a game. I think they are way too greedy with their titles. Everything's expensive. The new Silent Hill game coming out is probably going to be $70. That's just how they are, but they do make good games. So the fact I didn't like it, I do need to review it again. I do need to go back to it, so I appreciate that. Okay. 30% less rad. Rock the vote, y'all. I'm calling it now. Buster and Kirby in the final 2. Kirby's an excellent game. If it were me, I'm going to make my case right now of who I think, not case, my bet of who I think is going to be in the final 2. Let me look at the contestants one more time. Final 3 is going to be Kirby, Buster, First Samurai, or Super Adventure Island 2. I think. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that like Super Adventure Island 2. It's a whole lot more game than I ever thought it was. Top 2, if we don't get some logical, non-nostalgic people, sensible is what I'll call them, people in this chat that are just can take off these rose petal glasses for Buster Bust Loose. I think they're going to be in the top 2. As weird as that is to say, I think he's going to keep hanging around. But I think Kirby's Dream Course is a good one to bet on. That's just me. Now you guys can say, that's the power of this. Like you guys can say, Jake, that's so stupid. I don't like Kirby. And you guys can all get up to vote and get Kirby out of here. That's up to you. And I have to abide by it. So, okay. I'm calling it now. I like your style, Michael. I'm with you, Jake. Hate signing up for random things like that. Oh, baby, let's freaking go. By saying that, so I have not voted, so I can't see the results. I think I can pull them up. Yeah, I can see the results. Let me look at them. Okay, we got 4 votes already. I'm going to stall for another minute. I'm going to let you guys vote on who you want to see leave the island. And again, there is no... Once they leave the island, that's it. So I make a call. A lifeboat comes up to the island, and I read to them the verdict. and I say, hey, you've been voted off the island. Lifeboat comes and picks them up. They have to tear down their lean-to. Everybody around the campfire cries and sniffles a little bit. They say their goodbye. It's an awful thing to watch. And man, I'm gonna get a little bit of joy when Buster cries and has to go through that. I'll be honest with you. No, but seriously. Okay, last few moments. We're gonna let you guys vote. Now again, this is who you want to see leave. Please don't make the mistake in voting for who you want to win. That's not what we're doing. We're voting who we want to leave this week. Okay. I'll give you guys just another few seconds. I'll say this, and I said it on the first episode. Don't think I said it on this one. Look, if you don't vote, think about me. I love to complain. I love to complain when things are not going my way. If it's too hot, I'm going to say it's too hot. If work's going too long, I'm going to say it's going too long. If the meeting, whatever, I'm going to complain, and I'm going to talk to people about it after. I'm like, can you believe them? Like, can you believe they said that? Like, I'm going to complain a little bit. I love to do it. It's one of my favorite hobbies, actually. But you cannot complain. You can't complain in this show if you don't vote. So you take away the power of you getting to do, which is one of my favorite hobbies, which is complaining, if you don't vote in this chat. So once you vote, then if things don't go your way, everybody votes to keep Buster, and he keeps hanging around. And then he leaves, you can at least complain and say, me and my buddies, like, we voted for him to stay. But if you don't vote and then Buster walks out the door, well, then like you don't get to complain because you didn't vote, you didn't participate. So that's on you. Okay. Let's go to the results. The results are about to be closed, everybody. About to close them. Last second to make a vote. Last second, guys. Get it in if you can. All right. The votes are in. Man, this is weighty. That's what this is. This is weighty. That I have known these contestants since I sent out the invitations to join the island. And since I got to know them through my reviews, and knowing that there's going to be one that is no longer with us on this island, and it's just going to be that much more lonely on the island with less people on it. And at this point, week 3, we've come to, like, we're starting to get to where we're a little bit tight-knit. Like, we're a little bit of a family here on this island. And so the fact that one of them has to leave, and when nobody else is here, cell phones aren't here, and we're just connecting with each other, now they got to leave. That's hard. That's tough. But we can't have a winner if people don't leave the island. So without further ado, I'm going to read the results of this week's episode of our Tribal Council. And at this moment, I will play our dramatic music. As we get ready to read the results. And for this week, there has been 4 votes, a unanimous vote, to get Michael Jordan off the island. So Michael Jordan, I need you to pack your things, I need you to tear down your lean-to, and you must leave the island. And then, guys, they were down to 7. Dun, dun, dun. We have 7 left on Retro Island. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Man, go check out Retro Hunters and go see the review in which he responded to Buster Bust Loose. Check out my channel for the rest of the week, and you're going to see the response. You're going to see the response to a diss track that I've received on YouTube via X. You're going to get to see that this week. But, man, thank you guys so much for watching. And next week, if you haven't heard of these games, if you have not heard of these 7 games which are left, again, they are all on my channel. If you don't have time to play them, I understand that people are busy. You don't have time to play 7 Super Nintendo titles in a week. What person would, besides me? What person would? If you can't do that, my videos are like 7 minutes long each, so you can spend... Somebody can do some quick math, 49 minutes, and then you are smartened up to every single title that is left. So, all right, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Buster lives, dashing drop all around. Yes, the dashing drop. I don't have trauma from that and the bad hit detection from that at all, actually. So, okay, guys, thank you so much again. We will see you next week at 4:30. Central Standard Time, 5:30 Eastern Time. We'll see you again. Also,